Welcome to 28 Days and Beyond,
where we talk about our history, our heritage, and our culture.
I'm Amari.
I'm Charisma. Hey guys. I'm sad, Amari.
I'm a thug so I don't cry. However,
I'm not gonna cry on camera.
February's 28 days. This is the 28th episode, which means
Sad face.
This is the last episode. We've got some special things in store.
Yes, we do.
We do. We're gonna have
things to help us
close it all out.
With the fact that it's gonna be over for a while.
About a year. Yeah.
Well, hopefully not.
But
we'll leave that up to you guys.
Hey. So, it's been a great season. We've had some really, really great conversations, some great guests, you know what I'm saying? We got to laugh and joke.
Yes. We had some great taglines.
Taglines. Like what? Stamp.
Well, yeah, that was mine.
That was yours. What else?
This very topic. What about this very topic? We'll hear more about it right after the break.
Exactly.
And then the finger point. Can't forget that.
That's exactly. When it all goes down, when it's said and done, they're going to be like, Amari, what? The dude who...
Yeah, the dude with the finger point. Excessive finger pointing.
And there's no such thing as excessive. That's like cowbell. You can never have enough. How do you feel about the season? What's up?
I feel great about the season. I would just like to thank you.
Oh. Huh?
I would like to thank you.
I got to clutch my pearls. Yeah.
No, it's been awesome. You've been an amazing co-host.
Oh, yes, you have as well.
Most of the time.
Oh.
I had to
qualify.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, seriously, it's been awesome just talking about things that are happening that most of the time I feel like people aren't talking enough about. Yeah. It's been great. You've been an awesome co-host. You welcomed me on here because you're a vet.
I'm a veteran.
You're a veteran around these parts, and I was new.
I took you under my wing.
It's okay, Charisma.
Exactly. Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Exactly. And
just
here you are.
Follow my lead.
And here you are.
Here
outshining me with your Wakanda dress, huh?
Come on. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. One of the things that's been really one of the things that's really cool is this has been a labor of love.
Yes, it has.
Led by our fearless leader,
right?
Hezekiah Lewis, the one and only,
affectionately known as Hezzy.
Exactly right, Hezzy. He was the director, the producer, the mastermind behind it all. He's going to be joining us.
Yes, he is.
On
it's like the
episode
of Martin. The episode of Martin where he did everything, and like in the credits,
it was just said Martin.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be the case here, actually,
because it wouldn't.
Our crew was
He does
off
a
the
lot,
chain.
but our crew absolutely held us down.
Hopefully, we can get some of them on camera a little bit later. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. But it's been a very busy month.
Yes.
A lot has been happening in the world, in the country, and right here on 28 Days and Beyond. And I think we captured a piece of it.
I think we did too.
Is it too much to say a beacon of light and hope?
No, I don't think that's too much. I think that's just enough, actually. That's just... Go on and shine, Amari.
That's it. Shine on like a Vaselined up forehead. Remember your mama used to do that in the wintertime?
Yes.
You got to pull the joint around real tight. Put the Vaseline on, make sure that wind wasn't penetrating nothing.
Like all of my pictures were just
shining. It's a big shine. Exactly. I knew it. All of this
Shout out to
winning.
Yes, all of this winning.
All of this winning, yes. And we certainly won here.
Yes.
On 28 Days
and Beyond. Yes, we did.
I'm trying to contain my excitement, but also my sadness at the same time.
I know. But we're going to take a little break, and then guess who we're back with? Guess who we're back with?
Who?
Hezekiah Lewis is going to join us.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So we'll be back with more 28 Days and Beyond right after this. Welcome back to 28 Days and Beyond. We are now joined by the one, the only, the legendary Hezekiah Lewis.
Y'all killing me.
Hez, what's up?
How y'all doing?
Oh, man, doing great. Welcome.
Yes.
Well, y'all looking good.
Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wakanda forever.
Is it this way or this way?
Totally.
So obviously, right, you've been accompanying us this whole season because this is your baby.
Yes.
Right, 4 seasons deep. How's that feel?
Amazing.
Yeah.
And, first thing I want to thank you all for really taking on the challenge of production. Yeah. And, it's just been an amazing run this season for me personally, because it's probably been one of the hardest personal, kind of growth seasons. But, just having just the willingness and the passion that you both put into this, and the crew, which was unbelievable.
Amazing.
Really composed of all current and past students that came through and really just made this an amazing personal journey for myself. And I couldn't ask for more.
Wow. So what was the catalyst in the beginning? Like, what made you say, you know what, this is a show that needs to be created, and I need to be the person to do it.
I think the main catalyst is that there's no show like this out there. You know, growing up and watching a lot of television, I got tired of looking at all the negative stereotypes that we have from the Sambos, the Zip Coons, the Mammies, the Jezebels, and so it wasn't a lot of positive reinforcement for me in looking at these heroes, you know, and my role model was my mother and is my mother. I wasn't the type of kid that grew up thinking athletes and, you know, actors or entertainers were, you know, the world. You know, my world was seeing my mother really pushing and really fighting for me to do something better. And she always challenged me to be different and to really think outside the box. So my catalyst or my weapon of choice has been filmmaking. And for me, I felt like I wanted to do something that showed that there was more out there than just the superstars or the celebrities. There are local heroes that you can all turn to and really have more access to if you had questions or wanted to really sit down and figure out ways that they got to where they are. So I wanted to get them in those chairs, or this chair, I guess now, and have the opportunity to really share their stories.
Now, you mentioned athletes. You were yourself a college athlete and then decided to go to film school. And in the time since, I mean, you become a professor, but you also travel around the world making documentaries, making films. 28 Days is just one manifestation. What is your larger vision or mission in terms of using film to do what?
I like to use film to really evoke positive social change. I mean, that's my mission. That's my passion. For me, I don't call it a job. Like, teaching is not a job to me. I wake up every day. I don't go to work. You know, I'm going to really share my story.
That's what's up.
And I'm hoping that other students see that example and they want to share their story. So storyteller, I call myself a storyteller more than a professor, more than a filmmaker, more than whatever, an actor or director. I think there's an essence of story in all of us. And I think I just chose this route of filmmaking, or whatever you want to call it, or video or film, whatever term you want to use, to really ignite that sense of like unique opportunities for people. You know, so when I'm going to my classes, I tell students all the time, I'm not going to teach you about filmmaking. I'm going to teach you about life. You know, and it is a fine line between life and art for me. You know, so we can't take our own personal stories and bring it to the forefront and be vulnerable to that. I want to share those because I really want people to look at, especially young black males or older black males, I'm getting old now, and really understand that we are not the most dangerous thing in the world. And I always say the most dangerous thing in this world is a young black educated male. And I feel like that's why we see a lot of these kind of aggressions towards them. And I want people to see we have to take upon ourselves to really stand up and use our craft to really fight back against that narrative, that negative narrative that we have. And, you know, since the dawn of time, really. So I really want us to empower ourselves by using this craft of filmmaking to do that.
Well, it's been an
amazing
journey,
Yeah,
you know, thus far, just being a part of that and being a part of the storytelling. We have to take a break, Hez. Usually I hear you back there telling us that.
5 minutes already.
I know, it goes fast, right?
Yeah, she's doing a great job. I guess we got a new director back here. So.
Well, we'll be back with more Hezekiah Lewis on 28 Days and Beyond.
We're back on 28 Days and Beyond with Hezekiah Lewis. So, broadening the discussion, right? This February, we saw a record-breaking release of a film, The Black Panther.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? One of the questions I've kind of been seeing circulating is, if this film was able to break so many records, do you think that that's going to lead to a diversification of lead roles and so on and so forth within the film industry?
It's sad because... why are we having this conversation now?
Exactly.
You know, yes, I'm happy. You know, I'm not a, you know, like I said, I'm not a Marvel person or kind of a superhero film fan, but I did see the film, you know, day one, and enjoyed it. And more so for the cultural context of it all, and what it's doing for our society and doing for, you know, young black people all around the world.
Yeah.
Had a lot of really, you know, great social commentary throughout the piece. So, you know, for me, I'm happy that people are seeing that, you know, and I always say, I don't blame studios. I really don't. I blame our communities for not going out in droves and really supporting these folks.
The studios are businesses, so they're going to do what makes
money.
money.
The kids got to eat just like everybody else. So, you know, but it's hard because I think now, and I'm hoping that people can see that, you know, we are marketable and we've been marketable. You know, there's stories from this, you know, from the beginning of time to again that really haven't got the opportunities to really see the light of day. And there's a lot of amazing stories out there.
Truly.
And these are the type of things that I feel like I'm hoping that we see this formula that works now, and I guarantee you now people are not going to think twice. You're going to see it part 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, well, you already
Yeah,
know.
for
And hopefully
sure.
spin-offs from that are not just kind of fictional stories about our African culture.
Yeah.
And we can actually get some historical pieces like Warrior Queen out there.
Yes,
at some
hey.
point. But that's my mission as a storyteller, is to really kind of fight. I always say I want to be the first Black director to win an Oscar. You know, and it's probably harder than going to the NFL. And that's why I didn't want to choose sports. I chose a profession that was even harder, because I feel like we have to keep that fight going in order for younger folks to step up. People in my family, your family to really step up and say, hey, I want my story to be told too. And I want that same opportunity that every other white director, whatever color directors out there, to really make this happen. And I think this film is really not just breaking those doors down, but it's exploding a lot of these barriers for us.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things that I loved about being a part of this journey here at 28 Days and Beyond, is that we're getting to hear the stories of everyday people, of people that are just, you know, living their lives, and they're coming here and they're sharing their experience. And then along the lines of, you know, what we were talking about with Black Panther, just seeing all these videos pop up on Instagram and Facebook with these little Black boys and girls going to the poster of the movie and saying, I'm this one, I'm that one, and, you know, just seeing reflections of themselves and seeing us, you know, talk to each other and say things like, okay, well, we're gonna go on this day at that time, we're gonna dress up, we're gonna, you know, like all these things where they're just really involved. And, you know, like you said, I'm hoping, you know, because A Wrinkle in Time will be out pretty soon, and Ava DuVernay was in the running to be the director for Black Panther. I'm hoping that this will carry on, and we'll see droves of people coming out to support her film.
But even beyond that, it's also this idea, and I always talk about the sense of being African and African American, right? It's hard because I've always had a hard time wearing a dashiki or kind of getting into that. It just, for me, it feels like a costume in a way. And that's been due to slavery. So it's hard for me to really identify where I can't tell you right now where on the continent I'm from. You know, I have to go and spend a lot of money to do this DNA test, which I will do at some point. But I think what's important too is that this film, it merged all these kind of, you know, this kind of African culture, and and it had those commentaries in there. So, but I see people now wearing more of the African garb and really kind of embracing that side and really having these conversations, these kind of cross-continental conversations about culture. And I think that to me is more important than the blockbuster hits. It's really having people have
impact,
conversations about the continent, because that's the reason why I go overseas a lot, because it's a global society. And we need to figure out a way, and it's a small world out there. But when I went to Africa before, they told me I wasn't African. And that broke my heart. But I said, you know what, I'm not gonna let that narrative stop me from still trying to reconnect with my roots and my culture. So I feel like that fight in these type of films and seeing how we can all merge and you know, come together, I think that to me is like so important. When I see young brothers and sisters doing this, I'm like, you know what, there's something there. It might be a fictional area, but it's creating a real conversation about culture.
Yo, Hez, I want to thank you, man, for this opportunity to be a part of 28 Days, but also just for being able to accompany you on your journey in making films and really making your contribution, bro. Thank you for joining us here on this set. You know what I mean? I did want to say, for the record, I've been rocking this since I was a child. It ain't just because of them. Okay, all right.
Your brother, I like that. I love it. I love it.
But we'll be back with more 28 Days and Beyond after this. And we're back on 28 Days and Beyond.
Yes,
so,
we are.
Rizzy Riz,
AJ.
This is the last episode of the season.
Yes, it
and
is.
I think we would be remiss if we didn't let the folks hear your beautiful voice.
And your beautiful playing.
It just so happens, Shana! You ready?
I don't know. What are we singing? Songs.
Let's go.
Yeah, okay. It could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Loving you was like a battle, and we both end up with scars. Tell me, who just a silly game that forces you to act this way, forces you to scream my name, then pretend that you can't stay. Tell me who I have to be to gain some reciprocity. See, no one loves you more than me, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working, it ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you hurt yourself to make me stay. This is crazy, oh, this is crazy. Guitar solo, ow, get it. Care for me, said you'd be there for me, there for me, there for me. You said be there for me, cry for me, cry for me. You said you'd die for me, give to me, give to me. Why don't you live for me? Cry for me, cry for me. Said that you'd die for me, give to me, give to me. Why don't you live for me?
Yo,
It's
been an absolute pleasure rocking with you this season.
I didn't know if we were doing a fist bump or a handshake.
No, it was a handshake.
Okay.
It's a fist bump. Okay. Lock it up. Explosion.
There we go.
Till next year, this has been 28 Days and Beyond.
Where we talk about our history, our heritage, our culture, and occasionally play music. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Well, we couldn't leave
Right.
without thanking some of the amazing folks that helped us put this entire season together. We have our crew.
Yeah.
Our crew is here. Come on, guys.
Crew call.
Crew call.
Yo, obviously this isn't all the people, but these are some of the folks who have been rocking with us. Oh, making sure making sure I don't drop guitars, making sure that the camera
Exactly.
angles are correct, making sure the sound is tight. Man, we thank y'all so much for another
thank you
wonderful
so
season
much. Thank you.
of 28 Days and Beyond. Y'all have bright futures.
Yes,
Huh?
so right.
All right, we out for real this time.
For real.